everybody. Today I have a redone version of Fireflies by Sungha Jung, originally by Owl City. I'm remaking this because I have better equipment now. I got a new camera and a better microphone, so hopefully we'll get through this without any problems. So to start out with, capo on the 3rd fret, standard tuning, and you're going to start with this little intro part. Now what he does is he slaps a guitar while doing that. He goes like but I don't really like doing that because it's hard. He's too good for me. But so if you want to sound exactly like him, it's a little slap on the first note. He also has the thumb pick, whatever they're called, whatever the actual name is. So that kind of helps with his slapping while hitting. But anyways, I'm just going to consider every fret after this to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 respectively. Like capo is 0 now. So to start, you have, which is 3 on the E, open G, and 7 on the B. Or on the high E, sorry. Just like that. Just with 2 fingers. I use my index and my pinky. It's going to be a pretty big stretch. I don't have the biggest hands, but I can do it pretty easily. If you can't really do that stretch, just try your best. If you need to, you can just go just with the 2 top notes. If you really can't do it, it doesn't sound the exact same, but it still works for you. So, sorry, moving the computer in the way. The next 3 notes, you do the same beginning, and on the 3rd of the high E. So, 3 on the low E, open B or open G, sorry, and then the 3rd on the high E. Again, what he's doing is like, doesn't really work for me right now. I haven't been practicing it, but if you want to do it, that's how he does it. He just hits it a little bit while playing, just hits the string with his thumb while strumming the note. So that's the first tiny little bit, and then you're gonna go open D and 1st on the B, like that. And then you're gonna have the next part, that little high part, and that's 3rd on the A to start, and then open G, so the next part is 3, 1, 3, which is a pull off and a hammer on the B string. And then 3rd on the high E. So, now there's a lot of different ways you could go about the fingering on those notes. What I do is I just move my my ring finger from the 2. So and I keep my my index finger on the 1st of the B the whole time, basically, for that little intro part. So that's how I do it. Keep my index here, and then my ring finger is the one that moves between the 3rd fret on the A and the B string. And then I bar the 3rd fret on the high E with my ring finger. So I basically just used my ring finger for the 3rd fret in that little intro, and my index finger for the 1st fret. If that helps at all. So the last little bit is, again, it's the same thing as before. Open D and 1st on the B. Like that. Just ends with a little ending notes. And then the next part after the it's an F chord shape, but instead you play it with your thumb on the first, if you can do that, if you can wrap your thumb around like that. That's how he does it, and that's how it's easiest. And it goes. So you have the F shape here. If you don't know what the F shape is, you probably shouldn't be playing this song in the first place. So I'm not really going to go over that. But you have 1 on the low E, 3 on the D, and then you do a pull off and hammer on the G, on the second of the G, back to the second of the G, and then first on the B. So just like that. So altogether we have, whoops, sorry. That's where we are now. And the next part after is you go third on both the A and the D string as a little like transition between the two like chord lines kind of. So and then you go back to the first on the E with that F shape, and then you do the same, third on the E, first on the E, third on the D, and then pull off from 2 to the open string on the G string. And so that little bit is all together. That little part is and then the end part is, that's the end of that, the first little intro line, which is open A string, open G string, and then first on the G or on the B to the second or the third on the B. So just like that. If what I'm saying is kind of confusing, you can always look at the tabs. I'm not the best at explaining things, especially songs like this, which are a little bit more difficult, so look at the tabs is my best, I guess, the guide or support for the song. So next is you start the same way, but then after that it's different. So you do the same thing up until the first on the G or the B, sorry, and then instead of the high part that it does a kind of a weird thing. It's a C note. Well, it's based on, the whole song is based on F's and C's and G's basically, but for this part it goes 3 on the C, or on the A, sorry, open G is how it sounds. So it goes 3 on the A, open G, 3 to 1 on the B, pull off, and then the first on the high E to open E, so you pull that off like that, and then first on the B and open G, just like a C note. So that part goes like that. This part's not as difficult, at least I don't think it is, than the first little intro line. It's not that bad. So really slowly it goes. Just like that. And then the next part after that is, which is also again not that bad. So it's the same F shape we've been using. So we go first on the E, 3 on the D, and second on the G. Repeat, but now you have an open G. So you don't really need your index finger there, but I just do it out of habit. And eventually you need it. So you do twice. So you do that twice. And then you hit the first on the E, and then you go. So that's 1 to 3, hammer on the B. So like that, slowly. Just like that. Okay? And then you repeat. You repeat the first intro, and then you do the second part, the first part of the intro, and then you do the second part of the intro again. And that's when it starts the other part. And I'm not going to get to the other part today. This was just the intro parts. So very, very slowly, what we have so far in the intro is... repeat, and so on. So that's going to be it for this. Hopefully my explanation wasn't too confusing. It's a hard song to go through, hard song to learn. Just pay attention to the tabs, and hopefully I'll be back for part 2 soon. So thank you very much for watching.